As far as She-Hulk goes, I don't really have that much to say. The second episode, they certainly did not hit it out of the park. Okay, maybe I do have some things to say. I think the douchey attorney guy that was in the room with them in episode 1 that they just kind of dismissed and threw out of the room, that guy, they did a little bit of a small victory in my head because they made him so over the top that it was kind of funny. Much like, do you remember Todd from Scrubs? The Todd?
Yeah, I was thinking more Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
You know, that's funny because what you said was word per word exactly what Rob said while watching the episode about him.
He said the Todd?
I did not. I said Barney.
No, he said that he was so over the top, I like him now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they leaned into it so much that it's obvious. Maybe they didn't make it clear in the first episode that they were being, like, obviously, like, making him a caricature, so it didn't really play well. But I like that. Other than that, I don't think I really have anything else. I mean, I thought the episode was boring. It certainly was not funny. I never did even come close to laughing. I had, like, liquid or food in my mouth throughout the whole episode, and not once was I in any danger of spitting it out.
Did you just hold a mouthful of like chicken soup or something just to see what would happen?
As a movie and show reviewer, that's my test. That's my test.
My thoughts on She-Hulk, that should have been the first episode. You know, my first comment upon watching the show, the previously on She-Hulk, was so much better edited and put together than the actual show itself. I would have been happy with that. If they had just started the first episode with previously on She-Hulk, shown all that bullshit real quick, and then gotten on with the episode. It was much smoother, much less garbage going on, much less poor editing and poor pacing. The pacing vastly improved. Yeah, still not terribly funny, although it had a couple of funny-ish moments. They still haven't mastered the whole fourth wall breaking thing because they were doing it at awkward times and not doing it at other times when it should have been done. Like, she was having the family dinner with everybody. And while she's doing it, they were kind of focusing on her face. And I was going, okay, break that fourth wall. Break the fourth wall. Break it. Break that fourth wall. Never did. Would have been a perfect moment for it. Never happened. And then, like, 2 scenes later, she's walking around the office talking to us. Like, no, not now. No. No, go back to what you're doing. Quit distracting us from the plot.
Yeah, they've been using it a lot for exposition rather than...
Yeah, that's not how you do it. No. You're supposed to add to the comedy.
Yeah, I think it would add to the comedic mood of it if they did something like Arrested Development where they say, like, previously on when it's not something that actually we see.
Yeah, they could have done that with episode 1. They could have Arrested Development all of episode 1 in like 30 seconds.
They should have, because they laid a big fat turd with episode 1.
I think Ruffalo was able to get through the entire like 21-minute episode without coming off like a complete cuck douchebag. So good for him. Victory for Ruffalo.
He was only in it for like 40 seconds.
I know. That's the secret.
That is. I guess that's the secret.
The less Ruffalo you see on screen, the less of a cuck douchebag he is. It wasn't laugh out loud funny, you know, but they were, you know, the way they fucking hung a lantern on the whole, you know, I was a completely different person back then, literally. You know, when he said that about, yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Roth was cool. I liked seeing him.
Oh, yeah. And he actually made a good point that he was sent out there. He didn't just go on a rampage. The government gave him this stuff, and then when it all went wrong, they stuck him in jail. I mean, come on. He's a science experiment. He was just being a good soldier.
That's true up to a point, but he also did a lot of shit on his own, too.
Well, you got to ask exactly how much control does he have when he's the Abomination.
That's true. Plus, it's Tim Roth. You just got to love him, right? Yeah, it's Tim Roth.
He was suspiciously like an actual actor in that. That was refreshing.
Right? It was weird. He seemed so out of place. It was almost like jarring to see an actor in
what?
That.
Somebody's trying? What?
He always does a great job.
Timmy.
What else did I think about the episode?
I was slightly intrigued by the ending, how they linked it up to the Fight Club and him getting out of jail. That actually made me say, oh, okay, I kind of want to see how that turns out. You know?
Yeah. Another thing that really bothered me in the episode, they love to compare this show to Ally McBeal and all that. At least they think so. When she went into the bar, it was on one of the TVs in the background of the bar. What kind of bar has Ally McBeal on the fucking TV?
I guess ones that have a lot of lawyers.
I mean, could they beat us over the head harder with this? Jesus Christ!
They were worried that the first episode didn't evoke that show enough, despite their stated intentions.
Neither did this one.
That's what I'm saying. So they're planning the second one, and somebody comes up with a genius idea, like let's subliminally get it out there. Let's have that happen. I bet they're gonna have like Peter fucking McNichol in the next episode. He'll like come like vaulting out of the friggin' stall or something, and
I groaned so hard when I saw that. That was just terrible.
I didn't even notice.
It wasn't terribly obvious. At least they didn't jam it in my face, but it was there. It was in the background. It was the first thing my eyes fixed on. I was like, oh, there it is.
I probably was running like a sweet move on online cribbage on my laptop and missed it.
Online cribbage. You're old.
Hey, cribbage actually holds up, man. I didn't know shit about it until a couple of years ago, but then I learned about it, and it's actually
okay.
It holds up.
I'm not even sure what it is, but I just know it's old.
Yeah, I was coming from the same place as you, but then I learned how to play it. It's actually a really good game. But anyway, Andrew, you got any She-Hulk things? I mean,
Well, it was very short.
It was, which is good.
Yeah.
It didn't really stick around long enough to annoy me. It's better than some of the other shows they've done, so I'm still watching it. It's okay.
Where would you rank it in the hierarchy of Disney Marvel shows?
I really loved the first couple of episodes of WandaVision when they were doing the TV shows, but once it broke out of that, like that's when that kind of went off a cliff.
Yeah, each episode was worse than the last.
Yeah. I liked the first episode of Winter Soldier and Falcon.
I liked parts of that. I liked Zemo.
I mean, like the very first episode where they're doing the fight on the plane and stuff. That was really good.
Wait. Winter Soldier? What are y'all talking about?
Falcon and
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That was a show?
Dude.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I saw it. Okay. It made so little impact on me and my life that I feel like that.
Loki was kind of okay.
Rob loved Loki.
Loki was excellent.
I don't think it was excellent, but it was okay.
It pissed me off. It wasn't good. I could have done it better. There's my ultimate rubric. I could have done Loki better. Therefore, they failed.
When it was showing how powerful he was in the movies, and by the time he's getting here, and like the cops are punching him out and stuff.
Okay, what specific points would you have done better in Loki?
I would not have made him such a weak, powerless douchebag when he's a fucking Norse god. There was no explanation for that. They just, in order to make him a compelling protagonist, they had to power him down, and they didn't explain it properly, and they had like big, strong, proud, body-positive black woman in armor beating his ass with a nightstick. Fuck that. No. So that.
Yes, that I had a problem with, but that wasn't like a show-disrupting problem.
All the material and the environment and the time cops they could have done. Time cops? Time police? I'm thinking Van Damme here.
It's always good to think Van Damme.
They could have done so much more of a Doctor Who sort of setup where he was doing more interesting things. Maybe he was going into different worlds. And so, I mean, do you remember the externals that the Marvel Comics did with the team that went around to all these different...
Yes. Yeah.
They could have done some shit like that.
And the trailer before the show came out seemed like that's exactly what they were going to do. It's like, oh, this sounds awesome.
Yeah, I felt a little, I don't know about a bait and switch, because I couldn't look back and say they intentionally were deceptive. I'll give them that much credit, but it just, I could have done so much more with it. Plus, I didn't like Lady Loki. I mean, Lady Loki in the comics, she was a hot woman with giant titties. I like that. I want to see that on my screen. Their Lady Loki was every female comic ever. That's what she looked like.
Their Lady Loki looked like a plausible female version of Loki.
I don't buy it.
He was Hiddleston-y. Hiddlestonian.
I don't see that at all. If I was at a bar, I would hit on Hiddleston before I hit on her.
Oh, you fag.
Well, Hiddleston's a very pretty man, so...
He does have long flowing locks.
Okay, so Loki, I completely lost interest and could not tell you what happened in the last two episodes. Probably cribbage probably held my attention more.
Dude.
Well, it just wasn't that good.
Dude. It wasn't groundbreaking and amazing like the good, Tennant Doctor Who's or anything, but it did have that sort of DNA to it. And it was
interesting.
It felt like a less competent Tennant era Doctor Who.
I agree, and I think that's why I have a problem with it, is because the framework was there to make it as awesome or more, and then they kind of just shit their pants instead. So
they didn't so much shit their pants as they soiled them slightly. You might need to change, but it's not absolutely necessary.
There was a Loki skid mark.
Yeah, there was a bit of a Loki skid mark, but the pants were still wearable.
And that'll do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for going on this journey with us. Let me know how you liked it in the comments section. And also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel as we bring you more thoughtful and intriguing content in the future.